Honestly, props to my local library because if it wasn't for them, I would not be surviving this isolation thing. Hi, welcome, come on in. My name is Aoife and today I am going to give a little bit of love to my local library. I am a big supporter of the library. I have been a member for so long and I have been a member of the library in every place that I have lived so far in my whole life. I spotted this video on Sarah's channel. I'm going to link her video in the description below. There are 12 questions for me to get through, so why don't we get on started? Question number 1 is, when did you first go to the library or first get a library card? I don't even remember. It was so long ago. I have been a member of my library in my hometown since I was maybe 5 or 6. And I definitely remember going to the library every single week when I was younger and getting out books to bring home and just devouring them. I think I would get out 2 books every Tuesday, and by Thursday or Friday I had already read both of them through. Because that's what a Ravenclaw does. Question number 2, how often do you use your library? I use the library at home more often than I would use the library where I live right now. Mainly for the reason that I live in Germany. German is not my first language, and I find it a little bit more difficult to find books that are in the English language here. So I am actually still a member of my local library back in Ireland. And I use that through BorrowBox. I have the app on my phone and I check in with BorrowBox every couple of weeks, take a look at what's on there, download maybe an audiobook that I can listen to in work or on the way to work, and download an ebook that will kind of keep me company when I'm on the way to work, or if there's something that I've really been looking forward to but don't really want to spend out the money right now. Or right now, every bookshop in the country is closed. Getting a book out from my local library is just the easiest way that I can stack up my reading every now and then. Question number 3, have you ever had late or lost library book? Yeah. So when I was about 7 or 8, I did Irish dancing classes and they were on Tuesdays. So that's why I would go to the library every Tuesday evening. I would go after my classes had finished as a kind of a calm down relaxation thing, I don't know, but I would go to the library every Tuesday after my dancing classes. And when I was that age, I was in a really big babysitter's little sister. See, that's the thing, when you speak German predominantly you forget your English phase. When I was about 7 or 8, I was in a really big babysitter's little sister phase. And that didn't follow Kirsty and Marianne and etc. It actually followed Karen, who is Kirsty's younger stepsister. Yeah, the guy Watson, who her mom marries, he is Karen's father. But I would take out 2 of those books every single week and I would read them all over the house. In my bedroom, in my parents' bedroom, on the couch, on the kitchen table, everywhere. And I think it was coming to Monday evening and I had definitely read the books through, but on a Monday evening my dad would always say, get your books ready because we're going back to the library tomorrow and you have to give them back. And there was no sign of these books. They were nowhere to be found. So I had to go through my whole week in my mind and say, oh damn, where the hell did I read this book last? Where do I remember having this book last? I don't even remember reading this book. You know where it was? In my parents' bathroom. Not once did I think of looking there, but it took me a couple of hours to find it. I don't think that was a late fee, and I really got away with that one by the skin of my teeth. Also, since 2019, Ireland has abolished their late fees on libraries, which I think is the best thing because people should not be punished for reading. Number 4, what is your favorite thing about the library? I love that you have the chance to discover something that you might not really enjoy, or something that you think you might enjoy but you don't want to commit to it fully. That you can come into your local library and you can do that and there's no strings attached. You don't own this book for the rest of your life. You haven't spent any of your money on it and it doesn't have to sit on your shelf if you don't really enjoy it. You can just give it back to the library in 2 or 3 weeks' time and say, this book, glad I read it, but it wasn't for me and now I know. Rather than sitting at home forever and thinking, oh damn, I don't know if I would really enjoy Six of Crows. You can instead just go to your local library, take out Six of Crows for 2 or 3 weeks, read it, see if it's for you, and if it is, then you can go and buy your own copy. But if it isn't, no harm, no foul. Number 5, are you a browser or do you always know what you want when you go into the library? It kind of depends. Sometimes I just open the BorrowBox app and I know exactly what author I'm looking for, what series I'm looking for. If I want an audiobook or if I want an ebook, I always know. Sometimes I just open the app and I'm like, I am in the mood for a chick lit. And I don't know who, but I'm in the mood for a chick lit book right now. And I will just go with the first thing that I see on the chick lit list and say, hey, this could be something that I will try out. Question 6, name a book that you took a chance on from the library. A couple of weeks ago, or maybe a couple of months ago, I took an audiobook copy of Secrets by Jacqueline Wilson. I loved Jacqueline Wilson when I was little. Do not get me wrong on that. I was a huge Jacqueline Wilson stan. But as I've gotten a bit older, I haven't really been reading a lot of Jacqueline's work. So I know that there are quite a lot of her books that I have missed out on because they've just passed me by since I turned 12 or 13 and I haven't been reading her stuff as much anymore. So I took out this audio copy of Secrets and I really enjoyed it. It is about Treasure in India it's kind of like a West Side Story retelling in a way. It's about Treasure in India who come from very different types of backgrounds. India comes from a very affluent, I would say upper middle class, maybe upper class family, whereas Treasure's family are kind of from a council estate. Her stepdad is rather abusive, and India's parents aren't always as present as they should be, we'll say that. And it's kind of, they meet together and they have an obsession with Anne Frank. I think it's India. Yeah, India wants to be Anne Frank. And the two girls meet together just as chance would have it, and then they become really good friends and they kind of start living out some Anne Frank fantasies. It's weird, but I really liked it. Number 7, what is the best book that you have read from the library? It was a reread. It was P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern, and it made me bawl my tiny eyes out. I read it in the run-up to the publication of Postscript, because I needed a little bit of a refresh on what the story was like, and my physical copy is actually back in my house in Ireland. So I read P.S. I Love You to kind of remind myself what the story was like, and yeah, I was left a blubbering mess. Question 8, have you ever taken out the same book multiple times? Probably when I was in the middle of my Babysitters Club stage, I probably did. I know that the library didn't have a whole lot of the Babysitters Club books. They probably had like 20 or 30 of them back when I was younger. So I would have taken out the same book of those maybe 2, 3, 5, 9 times because I was so engrossed in that world and I just wanted to read as much of them as I could. I definitely remember having read Claudia and the Sad Goodbye more than once. So I imagine I took that book out from the library at least 2 or 3 times. Question 9, have you read a good book that is set in a library? And I genuinely don't think that I have. I don't think I've ever read a book that is set in the library anyway. I'm going to have to go through my books, but I really don't think I've read anything that is set in the library. Question 10, have you used your library's ebook and audiobook options? I have spoken about this quite a lot at the start of this video, but yes, at the moment, that's kind of the main way that I experience the library. I live quite far away from where my library is actually located, in that I live on a different landmass. But I will take out an ebook or I will take out an audiobook on the BorrowBox app, which I have on my phone. I will do that every 2, 3, 4 weeks. Question 11, which is the best library that you've been to? I really liked Cardiff Central Library. I did my master's in Cardiff and I was a member of the library there for the year that I was living there. And Cardiff Central Library is right in the middle of town. It's actually right beside the St. David's shopping centre, which is the perfect location for me because I could go to the library, pick up a book and just go straight into Costa and have coffee. But it's really bright. It's got huge layouts of books. It's got, I think, 3, maybe 4 floors, and everything is really well laid out. Everything is really well lit. Honestly, that is the best library I've ever been to. And if I ever go back to Cardiff, I probably will go in again. Question 12, what would make you use your local library more? Well, the library that I'm a member of right now, I would probably physically use it more if I was in the area. The area that I live in right now, I would probably use that local library more if I knew that there were a lot of options to read books in English. But I also think I should use my library here a little bit more to help me improve my German, because I think that will be a really great treasure trove of language opportunities, that it will have a great amount of books in German language that I can take out every now and then, that it's going to have some CDs like Rosetta Stone or kind of things like that. I think that's a missed opportunity on my part. And once the library reopens, I should probably get in. Those have been my answers to the library love tag. Are you also a member of your local library, and have you been using it more since you've been in isolation? Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll have new videos every week. Now get on out of here.